So we have a purple package. Gotta love a purple package. This was delivered after 11 o'clock tonight, and it's snowy and it's dark and it's windy, and some intrepid delivery person schlepped this package to my deck. I would not have known it was here if I hadn't gotten an email saying it had been delivered. I know what it is. It's another pen. How surprising. I'm a pen person. What I get is pens and ink. So, struggling a bit with the scissors to get into this. You'll watch me struggle for a while to get into this. Sorry about that. So this came from China via AliExpress, and it came really quickly. I'm quite impressed at how fast it came. I was given an estimate of January 28th as the date it would arrive, and today's the 18th. I'm voiceovering this after midnight, but it arrived on the 17th, shortly before midnight. So you've now seen the package. It is a Pilot Kaküno from the new line of Kakünos. What are they called? Madoromi line. Madoromi means drowsy. So these are sleepy time pens, basically, inspired by drowsy activities or drowsy theme, I guess. And I could not resist a muted mauve, pinky brown pen. There's just no way I could resist that, especially with all the muted mauve, pinky brown inks I've been buying of late. I had to get this pen. So it does not come with a converter. It comes with a cartridge full of Pilot black ink. I refuse to use black ink. It's just not in my nature. I want color. And yeah, I'm going to use the cartridge, but I'm going to dispose of the ink and fill the cartridge using a, what is it called? Syringe. A blunt tipped syringe. So finally the nails pay off and I get the sticker off the pen, and I'm quite impressed. There was no sticky residue left. Yay! So it has a translucent white grip section, and like I'm showing here, no converter. The body material itself is pink, dusty pink, as I've said, and it's really pretty. So in this light, it's not really showing well against my bright golden oak table, but it is very much a muted mauve. So this is my little box of pen odds and ends. The bottom is nibs, the top is converters and a variety of other things like micro mesh. So a platinum converter won't help. And we're going to go through a number of international converters and basically see how many international converters I have. Oh, look at all those converters. International, online, I don't know how you pronounce it, it's German. International, well, maybe that last one wasn't international, the one in the baggie, but I don't know what it was. International. Aha. Here we have the dreaded squeeze converter from Pilot. But I'm going to check. I'm going to pull out my loupe, my magnifying loupe, and check. And yes, it says Pilot made in Japan on it. But it's the dreaded squeeze converter that are really hard to clean out. and basically a pain in the ass to get a decent fill. So I think about it, consider it, but I do not want to use the dreaded squeeze converter. So it goes back in with everything else. I'm going to have to come up with an alternate solution. And that solution is going to be emptying out the converter, not the converter, the cartridge that came with the pen, and using that for the ink. So, time to head over to the sink. So I've emptied the cartridge. I've taken the little black piece out, and now it's time to consider my ink options. I want to match the body of the pen as closely as possible. I do like a matchy-matchy pen and ink combination. So my choice is, I've got lots of choices. It's a wealth of choices. But my final choice is Wearingeul Don Quixote. So I was considering Troublemaker, Rodeo. Well, I was considering all four at the top of this page, but decided they were too light, and in the end went with Wearingeul Don Quixote. So here's the ink. This is my first time inking a pen with Don Quixote. And there's my blunt tip syringe. Get out some ink. I like this method of filling a proprietary cartridge like a Pilot cartridge, because you can just use your blunt tip syringe to wash out and empty whatever ink is in the cartridge, and then pop your new ink in, and at the end of using up that ink, use your blunt tip syringe again to clean out the cartridge and just re-ink it over and over and over. So I'm giving it a bit of a squeeze to try and get the ink flowing. Because I flushed the nib, there was water in the nib and the feed. I flushed it 3 times with hot soapy water and then 4 times with clear water, cool clear water. And my paper towel has seen inky days, and my ink water has seen better days. Holy cow, I need to change that. It looks like iced tea. Actually, it looks like black tea. So I will refresh my ink water soon. So now I've cleaned my syringe, which is good. I can just pop it away. And what am I doing? The pen has sat for a moment, probably not long enough for the ink to saturate the feed, but I'm going to try and see if it works. So I think I'm just admiring how pretty the pen is. So Kakünos are well known for having fine but good nibs. They're a Japanese nib, so this medium is much more like a Western fine or even an extra fine. So they don't make broads for the Kakünos, broad nibs, or I would have gotten one. This medium will write like a Western fine or extra fine, but that's okay with me. It's nice to have some variation in your nibs. They can't all be mediums, all Western mediums all of the time. So no ink flowing yet, but it's a nice experience of pen on paper because there's moisture in the nib still from washing. I wonder how long I keep up at this futile exercise. So I think I will put it down and give it some time. And we're writing. Are we writing? It's hard to see. Yes, we're writing. It's very light at the moment. There was a lot of water in the nib and the feed, so it is thinning the ink somewhat. You'll notice as I write that the ink gets darker. So this was a double new pen day for me. On the 17th of January, I got 2 pens, one around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and one, no, actually the first one came earlier than that. The first one came quite early in the morning, and the second one after 11 o'clock at night. So double new pen day. And so I've written down that it is the Pilot Kaküno Madoromi in pink. The Madoromi line, the drowsy line, also has a blue, a lighter, brighter blue, but that's still in the drowsy, dusty tones. It has an ivory, almost a white, almost a gray white more than an ivory. And it has does it have a purple? I can't remember if it has a purple, but it has one they call brown that is really a gray. I wouldn't even call it a taupe. It's a gray. The pink was the one that appealed to me most. I liked the white ivory one and the brown one that is actually gray as well, but decided to just try one rather than buying 3 right off the bat. So the nib is a medium. Steel, obviously. It's gold tone, but it's steel. And the ink is Wearingul Don Quixote. And I like to do little squares, a single pass, a double pass, and a triple pass to see how much shading I'm going to get if I lay down the ink in such a way that it's wet enough to show shading. You can see the difference in color between the single, double, and triple pass. So yes, this will be a shading ink if it's laid down wetly enough. I'm looking for line variation and finding none, but I wasn't really expecting any because this is a standard medium Japanese nib, so equivalent to a fine or extra fine. It's a nice writer. It's a comfortable pen. I like the snap cap. It's great for taking quick notes, doing fast jottings. Good for a pocket pen. I mean, it's not small like a pocket pen, but it's good for having in your purse or having on your desk and just taking quick notes. So pilots are known to be good writers, and I was not disappointed. It's not scratchy in any direction, so a nice nib. There you go. That's about the best representation of the color that I have seen. Thanks for watching.